Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been a minute. I was gonna say a while and a minute, but it's been a minute, and I'm back with my week 7 update. I literally went on like a month and a half hiatus, and now that I'm back, I want to do my week 7 check-in. Because I'm on week 8, and so I feel like I could really do like a week 7 and a week 8 check-in, but I'm gonna wait to do week 8 next week. I mean, my week 8 check-in on Sunday. But in week 7, we discussed recovering a sense of connection. We talked about how art is not thinking something up; it's about the opposite, getting something down. Um, Julia discussed things like we are more than the conduit. We are more the conduit than the creator of what we express. Like an underground river, they flow through us as a stream of ideas that we can tap down into. We are the instrument more than the author of the work. Learn to accept the possibility that the universe is helping you with what you're doing. Become willing to see the hand of God and accept it as a friend's offer to help with what you're doing. Expect the universe to support your dream, and it will. We discussed perfectionism, and all of those last things were in regard to listening. In perfectionism, we discussed we do not fear mistakes, um, because there are none, and that's from Miles Davis. We also went over risk, and Julia posed the question, what would I do if I didn't have to do it perfectly? And the answer would be a great deal more than I already am. She goes on to say, we opt for setting our limits at the point where we feel assured of success. Um, but living within those bounds, we may feel stifled, smothered, despairing, and bored. Yes, we do feel safe, but safety is a very expensive illusion. Safety as an illusion, like that was brilliant. Like comfort zone. Your comfort zone is an illusion for you not to progress. Okay, and so there's a quote here from Susan Jeffers that says, we cannot escape fear. We can only transform it into a companion that accompanies us on all of our exciting adventures. Take a risk a day, one small or bold stroke that will make you feel greater once you've done it. Then um, she listed a list of once you're willing to accept that anything worth doing might be worth doing badly, or your options will widen. If I didn't have to do it perfectly, I would. And then it goes on to say all of these things that this person would possibly do if they weren't limiting themselves with fear. So do it. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. And that is a intricate spiel that leaves LaMotta baffled. Okay? And that's a boxer, Jake LaMotta, explains why he should shed some weight and fight an unknown opponent. Just do it. You don't know the bounds of the unknown until you explore it. Right, right. There's also another quote from Wassily Kandinsky that says, there is no must in art because art is free. Les Brown says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss it, you'll land among the stars. And I've heard that quote before growing up. Then we get into jealousy. And in here it says, my jealousy had actually been a mask for my fear of doing something I really wanted to do, but was not brave enough to take the action towards. And jealousy is always a mask for fear that we aren't able to get what we want, frustration that somebody else seems to be getting what is rightfully ours, even when we are too frightened to reach for it. Like, you can't be mad at other people because they're doing what brings them joy. They're actively pursuing their higher self while you're just a spectator on the journey, wishing that you could ascend a similar way. Get to ascending, bitch. It don't take nothing but to do it. Then there's this exercise called the jealousy map, and I did the jealousy map. I started a new journal. I finished my last one. So I'm not sure if my jealousy map is in this one or in the last one because again it's been a month and a half since I've seen y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be in the last one. Okay, that's cool because my last one is right here. My last journal, first journal. So I'm already 3 journals in, and it's only June. Thank you, Julia. As if I wasn't already journaling now, 3 times, no, 3 pages a day. Mm-hmm. Cool. But going back to the exercise. I don't even know when I did it. I know I did it, but I don't know when I did it. Oh, here it is. It would have been May 1st or April 30th. Yeah, I did it on April 30th. Almost a whole month later. A whole month ago. It's okay. I'm back. I'm back. Giving myself grace. Because April was a weird month. But now, we're in June. So, alright. So, the jealousy map. Your jealousy map will have 3 columns. In the first column, name those who you are jealous of. Next to each, write why. Be specific and accurate as you can. In the third column, list one action you can take to move towards creative risk and out of jealousy. When jealousy bites like a snake bite, it requires an immediate antidote. On paper, make your jealousy map. So we have who in a column, why in a column, and an action in a column. I don't know if I want to share this. Fuck it, I will. If I didn't have to do it perfectly, this was my perfectionism task. If I didn't have to do it perfectly, I would try open mic and I would sing because I have like this ingrained fear of like performing in front of crowds. And I'm sure that's a common fear, but it's a fear that keeps me from doing it. The jealousy map. Who the first person is this girl named Jayla that I follow on TikTok. Hey Jayla, you're amazing. You're doing everything that I wish I could be doing. Just as far as the progress that you're making on your bus, I wish I could make that much progress. But I get that everything happens in a person's own time. But I'm slightly jealous because she's making more progress on her bus. And my antidote would be working on my bus. And I've been doing that. So I've made more progress in the past week of working on my bus than I have all year. Or at least in the past 3 months. Because I got stuck trying to remove rivets. And once I figured out the rivets, I've been getting them going ever since. Okay? So working on my bus is my immediate antidote to being jealous of J-Lo and making progress on her boat on her bus. Cause I could be making progress too. Another person that I'm slightly jealous of is my baby sister Layla. I have a born blood sister Jada, but my spiritual sister is Layla, and I'm slightly jealous of her. Why? Because she is bold and unapologetic, and she uses her voice, and she isn't scared to say what she wants to say, and she isn't scared to offend anybody based on what she thinks. Like, I'm gonna think what I think, and if you think it, cool. If you don't, cool, nigga. I love that about her. And my antidote to my being jealous of her boldness is to be bold. Show up and be bold. Don't care what people have to say. Don't, you know, don't sugarcoat what you feel. If you want to be Billy Badass, be Billy Badass and say it badassingly. Right. Um, Another group of people that I'm jealous of are girls with dads. I'm jealous of this because um, they have paternal support and they can be just girls. You know what I'm saying? I want to be just a girl, but I have to show up in so many other roles because I don't have a father figure. So, um, I said I wasn't sure what my antidote or my immediate action was for that. Maybe finding a father figure mentor or niggas are so weird. It's really just like, how do I find an older male to confide in? I won't find them. The universe will position that relationship. So I am attracting, I'm attracting a father figure in the physical realm. Something like Anubis in my spirit team. And lastly, I am jealous of people who can successfully throw large events. Like I'm jealous of socialites. You know, um, I'm jealous of them because I think they have more support than I do, and I don't know why I create that complex for myself because there are plenty of people that follow me and support me and see what I'm doing, but why don't I feel like I can successfully gather a large amount of people? Mm. And my immediate action antidote to that was to build community. So that was my jealousy map. I almost didn't want to share it, but I'm glad I did because I feel like those are honest jealousies. Like, I'm not jealous of you because you have it. I'm jealous of you because there's an aspect of you that knows how to handle that thing. Yeah. All right. And then we get into archaeology as an exercise. The phrases that follow are more of your sleuth work. Very often, we have buried parts of ourselves that can be uncovered by some digging. Not only will your answers tell you what you missed in the past, they will tell you what you can be doing now to comfort and encourage your artist child. It's not too late, no matter what your ego tells you. Okay? As a kid, I missed the chance to, and I said, being a kid. As a kid, I missed the chance to be a kid. As a kid, I lacked confidence. As a kid, I could have used more support and stability. As a kid, I dreamed of being a performer. As a kid, I wanted the Brandy Barbie when she was Cinderella with the blue dress. In my house, we never had enough communion. As a kid, I needed more protection. I'm sorry that I will never again see me taking up space in grade school. In school, high school, middle school, elementary school, college, I'll never be able to see myself take up space the way that I desire to unless I go back for a PhD or a master's. But those are, you know, higher programs that I'm not even sure a lot for campus presence. I don't know. For years, I have missed and wondered about my earliest memory. So, because I've had such a dramatic life, I have like selective memory. And I know a lot of it is based out of trauma. So, I've trauma blocked a lot of things growing up. And at one point, I tried to like go back to my earliest memory, and I was only like 3, I think. My earliest memory is going to the Atlanta Olympics in '96. I wore all white sweatsuit and some K-Swiss, and I was with my grandma and my mom and my grandmother's godmother and her daughter, um, walking up the park during the parade. It was a time. I remember that. I remember '96 Olympics. If I could remember anything prior to that, it's shoddy. But I think a 3-year-old memory, like a memory from my 3-year-old self, is profound. So that's something that I've been working on, is like recalling my earliest memories because they were trauma blocked from childhood experiences. I beat myself up about the loss of opportunities. I do feel because I wasn't bred to be confident, or I wasn't um, raised to be bold, that shadowed opportunities where it required my being bold and required my being confident. Because I lacked those things, I feel like I missed out on opportunities because I wasn't confident enough to just like pull the trigger with it. So, yeah, that was the end of that. No, it is important to acknowledge our positive inventory as well as our shortfalls. Take a positive stock of what good you have built on in the present. So we go into the positive stock, and I have a loyal friend in Tatasia. Tatasia Hunter is my soul sister. Hey, sister, soul sister. We have Ladybug. We have experienced lifetimes together, and I love her so deeply and dearly. So I'm glad that I can find loyalty and a friendship with her. One thing I like about my town is how black it is. I live in Atlanta, so I love how black my town is. Um, I think I have nice features. So ain't that crazy? Ain't that such a contradiction that I feel like I lack confidence, but I feel like I have nice features? I'm weird. Don't mind me. Writing my morning pages has shown me I can be bigger than my thoughts. I am taking a greater interest in my self discovery. I believe I'm getting better at honoring myself. My artist has started to pay more attention to orchids. Like I used to be a sunflower girly, real bad. But I'm being birthed and born into orchidry, whatever that means. If that means anything. I went to the Botanical Gardens Orchid Days exhibit, and I haven't been doing my weekly check-ins, but I get myself an orchid a week now. So this one is old, but it's still alive. And we got a new leaf coming in right there. You see it? Yeah, orchid girl. I'm an orchid girl now. I got a big old tattoo on my hip. I can't show y'all because I'm naked, but I got a big old orchid on my tattoo. I mean, orchid on my hip. That week I got that tattoo. I did 2 orchids on the shoulders, and then I did 2 orchids on somebody's hand. So I'm definitely entering an orchid season. Oh, I also have a painting that I'm working on that has this big old orchid head girl. And I've been collecting cardboard because I want to make paper mache wallflowers. Shh, don't tell nobody. Okay? Oh, let's get back into it. Um, my self care is important. If I don't take care of myself, how in the hell am I going to take care of anybody else? If I'm no good for me, I'm no good for anybody. Right. Um, I feel more sure of myself. Like that confidence that I be feeling like I need, I have, or I'm getting. Okay. And lastly, possibly my creativity is more fertile than it's ever been. And then I went into the tasks for that week. The tasks that I did that week were create one wonderful smell in your house with soup, incense, fir branches, candles, or whatever. It would have been a candle that week with lavender or vanilla. And then quickly list 5 favorite films. Do you see any common denominators among them? And are they romances, adventures, period pieces? Do you see traces of your cinematic themes in your collage? So there was supposed to be a collage that I did, but I didn't do. So 5 favorite films are Prince of Egypt, Cinderella, Lion King, Dreamgirls, and Mulan. They all have a similar theme of being chosen and overcoming transgressions to become or to align with their higher self. Yeah, they all have that theme. I think I connect with aligning with your higher self and what it takes to get there and being able to appreciate the artist development um, of becoming the higher version or the highest version of yourself and going through like those trials. So I enjoy those storylines. So with that, we sprinkle right on over into week 8, which is recovering a sense of strength. I've already read through this week, but I'm gonna go through with finishing my exercises. So I won't recap y'all with that. Finishing off my exercises and my tasks for the week, and I'm headed to Aruba next week, bitches. I'm going to Aruba with my grandma and my sister for my grandma's birthday. So, where I fucked up not doing the check-in when I had the chance to in California, which I wish I did. When I went out to Cali, I had a moment where I could have checked in out there, and then I would have been able to like have that in my digital footprint. But I'm definitely going to be doing my check-in Aruba for recovering a sense of strength. So y'all be on the lookout for that. It'll be coming. And in week 8, this week tackles another major creative block, and that's time. You will explore the ways in which you have used your perception of time to preclude taking creative risks. You will identify immediate and practical changes you can make in your current life. You will excavate the earlier conditionings that may have encouraged you to settle for far less than you desire creatively. And then I just deep dove into it while I was at Outback getting my Happy Meal. So that was week 7. It will not be another month before I have a check-in. Y'all gonna be seeing me next week in Aruba. It's been well. It's getting better. And until next time, stay glitched and stay golden.